Hey there, I'm Reid Zakos, for those of you who don't know me, and in honor of my new single being called Depth, I thought I would share a little bit more about myself. I don't normally love to be that vulnerable, but here I am. That's what you gotta do in especially this pandemic, and as an artist, you can't always be promoty, and expect everyone to get where you're coming from and expect everyone to relate to your music without getting to know you first. So I'm gonna try and be vulnerable and tell you about me in an unconceited, humble, unnarcissistic way. So stay tuned.
Had so many stars in my
So I grew up in Calgary in a very supportive family, I have to say. They always encouraged me to pursue my creativity and performing and just really be myself, which is great because I know a lot of people aren't as lucky as I have been to have as much privilege and support. That was really great. I actually grew up in a musical family. My dad is a piano player and my mom plays the trombone. My sister is also a singer and really talented musician. Some of my cousins play instruments too, so I definitely was always supported and encouraged to follow my passion and what makes me happy. So I'm really happy that at 28, I'm here and I'm queer and I love to share my talent with the world. And I think it takes a lot of bravery for anyone to share their talent or their passions. So I thought I would just put myself out here a little bit more. And rather than just giving you guys music and visuals and Instagram photos and makeup looks and Lady Gaga choreography videos, I would just talk a little bit more about me. So I'm a Cancer. I definitely come off like a Scorpio or a Leo. They're definitely in my chart. I'm a Scorpio rising and a Scorpio moon, but my Mercury's in Leo, so apparently I communicate bold and like a Leo. And I've been told that I come off pretty intense and I can come off cocky, but once you get to know me, I think you'll realize that I'm a really good friend and I'm a lot more sensitive and I put people before me a lot. So sometimes too much. And that's what some of my songs are about. But we'll get there.
had so many stars in my
As a queer person who is pretty brave and ambitious and a performer and a little extra, I was made fun of a lot and I was bullied a lot growing up. But I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, homophobia was still there. I mean, it's still there. It's never gonna not be there. Hopefully one day it won't. But Calgary's pretty conservative. It's pretty redneck. It's gotten a lot better. It's a lot more progressive now. But growing up, I just was misunderstood and I was just teased a lot for being so out there and for being so extra and extravagant. And I think a lot of it looking back, it was never, and this is a huge thing for anyone who's been bullied to realize, but it's never really been about you. It's usually like the insecurity that that other person is projecting back onto you. And I think that's so important to recognize. I think a lot of it also stemmed from the fact that a lot of my friends were girls, and I think I was made fun of mostly by straight men, and straight men were jealous that I had lots of female attention, which I totally get, but maybe it was also just insecurity within themselves for not being able to be as creative and brave artistically and, to put myself out there because I was a dancer. I was never afraid of performing. I love to sing. I love to be a movie star. So I think a lot of the bullying just came from people not wanting me to shine and not wanting me to receive the love that I was getting from other people. Anyway, I don't know. I'd say I was pretty lucky still throughout middle school, junior high school. I went to a creative arts school, so I definitely had a safe space of being supported and being allowed to pursue my passions and staying true to myself. It was harder for me to come out mostly from myself because I didn't really have a lot of queer role models or icons to look up to. Growing up in Calgary, there wasn't a lot of education about queer culture and gay people. Growing up, it was my dream to be a pop star, and it was my dream to be, like a famous singer, and I felt like I couldn't be famous if I was gay. I also felt like I didn't really know what being gay was, and I felt like it just had such a negative connotation to it whenever people would call me, oh, you're gay, or oh, you're so gay, or you're a faggot, or whatever. I just didn't want people to define who I was. I wanted to define who I was. And I think coming out took so long because I wasn't ready. You have to come out when you're ready. And to be honest, what helped me come out was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, and people might roll your eyes and think that's stupid, and people think, oh, Reid's so obsessed with Gaga, but she really helped me love who I am and free myself. She really helped me accept myself and just value my self-worth, and she did it in a way through shared art and shared experience, and I just felt like I could finally be me with no labels and me to my full authentic self through listening to her music, through going to her concerts, through meeting other little monsters. And she's had a huge impact on my career as an artist. She's had a huge impact on my artistry, as well as Gwen Stefani, Troye Sivan, Dua Lipa, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Madonna, all of them. Lady Gaga definitely helped me become my true self. So I'll always love Gaga for that. I'm wearing House Laboratories right now. You can tell it's glittery AF.
Had so many stars in my life.
After high school, I went to theater school and tried to do acting, but I ran into some issues with being vulnerable, like I'm trying to be right now, because people don't realize, but performing and acting are two very different things. And because I have such a stage presence, and I love to sing and dance and entertain people and audience engagement and get a reaction from the crowd, it was hard for me to be vulnerable and to be someone else, because I think it took me so long to be comfortable with who I was, and still finding that, it was also hard for me to play other people. I don't know, I feel like some actors, you think it would be easier if they have issues with their identity, if they have issues with their sexual orientation. You think it would be easier for them to become an actor, but I think it was harder for me. And something that I still want to explore, and it's something that I still want to do more of one day is, try playing other characters and try being an actor and leave myself and leave the persona behind. So I went to theater school and I got the lead in Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was exciting. I was Frankenfurter and it was fabulous, and that opened me up a little bit more to musical theater. My one love has always really been pop music. I've always wanted to be a pop star, and I remember when I was like 10 or 11, I would, instead of doodle on my notebook in class, I would like make fake track lists and make fake album covers, and I would be like, I'm gonna have a song title called this, I'm gonna have a song title called that. And when I was alone and on the playground, I would pretend I was in a music video, I would pretend I was on a world tour. And that was just always my passion, and that was always my dream, and my aspiration was to be a pop musician. Started writing songs when I was like 11 or 12. I started playing with loops and GarageBand and programming. I do play a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar. I started with dancing was my main thing, and then I took singing lessons and really had to work better at becoming a better singer. But what I had first was the stage presence. I always had the gift of stage presence. But I learned to become a better musician. I learned to become a better songwriter. I pushed myself to become a better singer.
Had so many stars in my life.
I had a few couple serious relationships. One was 5 years, which was really long in gay world, and it was a great relationship. But after a while, we just decided to be friends, and we decided that we wanted to pursue other things. And then I was in kind of a rebound relationship. It was long distance, and it was just messy. And he lived in the States, and I lived in Canada, and it didn't work out. But now, after spending some time alone and being single, I've been in a healthy relationship for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, like close to 3-4 years. And it's the first time I've actually dated another musician. And at first I was nervous about that because I was like, is it just gonna be a pissing match? Are we gonna always try and one-up each other? He's a little bit more alternative pop, I'm a little bit more dance pop, and we've worked together a lot, and it's just really positive. We're so supportive of one another that it works. Because we can explore that world together, it's really exciting, and it's a really valuable relationship. I think it's important. I don't always advise dating someone who does the same thing as you, but in this case it works, and if you can find someone that shares your passion, that's amazing. So I'm really happy with the partner that I have now. We've lived together for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And it's a really healthy relationship, so I'm happy about that.
Had so many stars in my life.
So the start of 2018, I actually moved to Vancouver, and I was obsessed with Vancouver. I still am, and I just felt like I fit in there more. Everything was just a little bit more open and accepting towards queer people, and I love being by the beach. I love being by the ocean. It's just such a beautiful city, and I feel like it's easier to pursue the arts there. I lived in Vancouver for 2 years, and I went to this really great school where I learned all about audio engineering, the music business, and songwriting. So I met some of my best friends at this school, and I got to pursue my songwriting and just develop my craft more. And it was some of the best years of my life that I'll always cherish, being in Vancouver, writing songs on the beach. I moved back to Calgary right before it started, and luckily I live with my partner, and I'm glad that I live with him because we've been able to work on so much new music together and really take our time and pursue songwriting and pursue production, and just get to know each other a little bit more. Recently, I've been working at a clothing store, and I've also been working for a newer company that puts on virtual music shows. So being the city rep for Calgary, I help curate shows and host them and lead the Q&A. So there's definitely pros and cons to virtual shows. I mean, I feel like people don't commit to a virtual show as much as they would an in-person live show. But if you want to support musicians, and if you want to support music and keep that economy going, virtual shows is the way to do it right now. It's hard because I feel like all I do is spend time on Instagram trying to promote these shows and DM people and try and get people to come, but it's a hard business to be in. But I feel like if I do it for a while, then it'll look really good on my resume, and I want to be in the music industry no matter what. If it's being an artist myself, or if I am working kind of on the live event side. I love doing that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna try and make more YouTube videos of me talking and just being real and raw and authentic and myself. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments below. And go listen to my music on Spotify and Apple Music. Go watch my music videos on YouTube. I'm gonna actually be making more covers soon, so yeah. And thanks for getting to know me. Depth is coming out soon, so I'm excited.
I wanna dive in so deep with you. It's the depth of our connection, psychic protection. You're a lover and a friendship too.